May Shalom Akim. I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem Kadash, the blonde to the apostles and the elders of Great Mosul for teaching truth and for ruling well. And peace and exaltation to all you Akim out there pushing and defending his gospel throughout the four corners of the earth, as well as to the believers anyhow, by Hashem Yahushua, the men as well as the women, the hopeful elect. It is the brother Kahana Allah from the GMS Hawaii. And I wanted to do a lesson, Lord, wouldn't it be edifying? You know, going into, well, ultimately, maturity in this truth, and how there's certain things within the scriptures, man, that are gonna trigger your emotions. And you have to overcome those emotions through the spirit, man. And you do it through what? Through gaining understanding of the scriptures. You know, there's a lot of scriptures that that involve us coming into this truth, having to leave certain practices that sometimes we held dear. You know, being around family, let's say around the holidays, doing certain things with your kids, because now we understand that those things are evil. And the same way with things like prophecy, we understand that a lot of our family members may not make it. We understand that the Lord, if they keep on doing wickedness, idolatry, the Lord's gonna have to take them. And that's something that we had to internally accept and say, you know what, fuck it, let the will of the Lord be done, right? And that's part of growing in this truth. That's part of you becoming an adult in the truth. When we first come in, we come in as newborn babes, as the scriptures say. But as we grow, as we gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we become adults in this thing. And we have to overcome those things that trigger your emotions. You know, a lot of brothers and sisters as well, you know, we have lost children because of the truth. We have lost wives, husbands, brothers, sisters. And that's all part of what? Of growing in this truth and being able to accept it and keep on moving forward. The scriptures say, blessed is he that is not offended in me. And Yahushua said that. And what did he mean by that? He meant that blessed are those that don't get offended when the truth brings obstacles, or when the truth takes certain things that you held dear to you. Like that boy that came to our Lord and Savior and told him, like, look, I've followed the commandments, you know, since my youth. What shall I do next? The Messiah told him, go sell everything you have and, you know, and give it to the ones that need. And what happened? He put his head down, and it doesn't say specifically in the scriptures, but speculating, he must have had a lot of riches. So he put his head down and walked away, like, damn, man, like, I ain't about to do all of that. Why? Because he held the things of the world dearly unto him, the things that he had. And that's something that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we've learned to let go of. Right? A true, mature individual in this truth can see certain things in the scriptures and say, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. We've been indoctrinated so long, we've been in captivity for so long, that there's certain things that, even though they're not necessarily correct, well, even though they don't seem, let me rephrase that. there's certain things that might not seem incorrect to us in the world. They might not be too obvious that they're evil. But guess what? Once you come into this truth, the Lord shines that light upon our actions, and now we see that we were practicing things of darkness. We were practicing evil and sin, right? So let's read this in the book of 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And how do we become men? We become men through gaining wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and righteousness. The reason why what inspired this video is I was watching this podcast with Tommy Sotomayor, and he had a bunch of people up in here, and one of them was Captain Tsariak from the ISUPK, and they touched on the topic of women's maturity, when they hit the flower of their age, and what was supposed to be maritable age. And we know maritable age in the scriptures as well, when you're ready to to bear children. In the ancient world, the customs, and even now you have countries in Africa, certain Arabic countries, you still marry off your daughters at a young age, right? So maritable age didn't become 21 and 18 until Esau took over and made it so. So these individuals were having a conversation, touching on that topic. And you could tell Captain Tsariak was all up in his feelings, man, because he lacked understanding on the topic. And I don't want to harp upon that same topic of marriageable age, because we understand it. The apostles, the elder bishops, all the brothers on down, we've done innumerable lessons on the subject. And that shows when individuals can't understand it and go into their feelings, like Captain Tsariak was going in this podcast, is because they're childlike. Their mentality still things like a child. And when I say child, it's a spiritual child. You have your feelings mixed up where they ain't supposed to be, man. You're supposed to be a judge in righteousness. These type of scenarios with marital salak, it's a tongue twister for me. Maritable age are gonna come to you, and just because you in your feelings, you're gonna pervert judgment, and that's you being a child, man. You gotta understand that in the ancient world, the reason why Yahweh Hashem Yahushua told us that that the fathers are the ones in charge of marrying off their daughters, it was because we understood, like, this little girl is developing. She's gonna start, acting a certain way. I gotta marry this daughter of mine to somebody that's gonna take care of her, to somebody that's gonna, do right, a righteous man of our own nation. that's gonna build with my family. This is what marriage was all about, man. But this dude was all over this podcast, damn nearly about to fucking cry, man. Because these other individuals were calling him out like, look, man, these young girls, they know what the fuck they doing. They want to have sex with older men. They want to be out there with these men of well, you know, they spoke about this wicked ass R. Kelly. He's a man of renown here in this world in wickedness. But they were pretty much speaking facts, man. Like, these young girls want to be with these men of renown. Even if they are 14, 15, 16. Like, these girls know what the fuck they doing, man. Because they burning. They already in that stage with their body telling them like, oh yeah, I want to be with them. Oh, I want to do this. And this is why the fathers were in charge of marrying off their daughters, man, at a young age. But again, you and your feelings acting like a child, man, when you're supposed to be a judge for Israel. All sorts of cases are gonna come to you, and because you in your feelings, you're gonna pervert judgment. That's wicked, man. And it's not just with this topic. It's with a lot of other things, man. This is why, you know, the apostles, and we could see it. We could see that Captain Tessariak is soft. He got a real soft spot for women, man. Oh, the sisters, all this, all that. This thing of ours, the truth, man, it is for men. The scriptures tell us that the tabernacles of the Most High is with men. We're not here to fucking cater to women and make them feel good. No, man. We're out here to prophesy the truth and to show our people what their transgressions, so that they could go back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and we could get the fuck up out of here, man. We don't give a fuck about making the woman feel good. And no, just how we fucked up, and the Lord showed us through the scriptures, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. He convicted us through the truth. When we read this truth, we felt like pieces of shit, man. Or at least that's how you're supposed to feel if you're truly repenting. And what do? We changed our ways. But you Israelites, man, you prophets you men playing prophets, you're over here trying to be a PC Israelite, man. You don't want to offend nobody and the women, and you gotta, you know, maintain good reputations with the sisters. No, fuck that, man. We're here to speak the truth, and whoever likes it, good. Whoever doesn't like it, good, because you're gonna be condemned. That means that you weren't meant to receive this truth. That means that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua didn't call you into this truth. He didn't call you into repentance, and that's fine. Just don't teach others to do likewise, man. The scriptures tell you that he that teacheth men to do so shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. And what Captain Tessariak, as well as Bishop Nathaniel, as well as these dudes from Genesis, Gorilla Hebrew, what you're doing is teaching our people to transgress or to go against Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's will, man. So all of you are gonna be called least in the kingdom. Real quick, Salakia, just bear with me, I can. This is in the book of 1 Corinthians 14, I believe it's 1 Corinthians, yeah, kind of. 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 20. It says, brethren, be not children in understanding. Howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. Right? So you have these so-called leaders of Israel. You're not children in malice because you, let me hold back my tongue, but you're not children in malice because you somehow manage to persuade people into buying precepts, into joining your monthly subscription programs, buying all your bullshit. That's malice. You're using the gospel for merchandise sake, man. Right? But yeah, you're children in understanding. The scriptures tell you, it's telling you to what? To be men in understanding. Topics like, again, the marriageable age, the elect. Salvation is not for everyone of Israel. Why do you think that these congregations like ISUPK, IUIC, even these dudes Genesis now, why do you think that they cater to the community? Because they are doing it for malice, right? They don't. Well, it could be for two reasons, honestly. For malice, which that's what we believe is happening. They sold out, and they're using the word to deceive people, which that's in malice. Or they really don't understand the concept of the election, which that's being children in understanding, which you're supposed to be men in understanding, right? Let's keep on reading. Verse 21. It says, well, actually, that was it on that one. That was it on that precept, but we have another precept right here in the book of Ephesians 4 and 14. It says that we henceforth be not more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, or by the slay of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So like, let me read that again. I was a bit distracted over here, but Ephesians 4 and 14, it says that we henceforth be no more children. Right, again, that word children, if we look it up in the blue letter, that word children goes into what? Maturity, Christian maturity, figuratively, maturity of understanding. Roughly paraphrasing, the description of the definition of that word for children. Salakia, not children, men. Salakia. As a matter of fact, let's just do this real quick. I don't want to, we always double check. It says, let's go into that word children. And Salakia, if the camera's moving a little bit, but I'm on the road. Children is the Greek word
Strong's G 3813. Paideon.
And it says a young child, a little boy, little girl, infants, children, little ones. It says of male, child just recently born, of a mature child, metaphorically, children, like children in intellect, you see? So don't be like children in intellect. Which Captain Cesariak, man, you were looking bad out there. Even the woman had more sense than you, man. And honestly, that's embarrassing, dude. You out here supposed to be a captain of the people, a leader of Israel, and you got women in the, I don't know if she in the truth or not, but she didn't look like she was in the truth, but you got women in the world with more common sense than your ass, bro. Fucking through, just because you in your fucking emotions. There was a point that literally I thought this dude was about to cry, man. He was like, "Oh, all you people, you offended." I'm like, damn, bro, you a grown ass fucking man, dude. Like, you fucking through, man. That's why when the Spirit showed me, because before I came into the truth, I seen ISUPK, I seen IUIC. But when I saw the apostles, the brethren here in GMS, they were raw with it. Like, look, man, we don't fucking sugarcoat nothing. This is the truth. Whether you like it or not, this is what it is. Be a fucking man. And understand that this is not a child's book. This is not a fucking a book to cater to your fucking emotions. This is the truth. And there's things that you're about to find out that is gonna fuck up your train of thought, because you've been conditioned to think in a different way. And that, right away, I was just like, damn, man, they fucking raw with it. And I've always been somebody, you know, to be truthful about shit, man. Like, I don't like to lie and shit. Like, so when I saw that, I was like, damn, these men, the Lord is dealing with these men, because they ain't about the gimmicks. Let's look for that word, men. Be ye in understanding, men, right? So let's look at that word, men.
Strong's G 5046. Teleos. Teleos.
Teleos. It says, brought to an end, finished, one thing, nothing necessary to completeness, perfect, or that which is perfect of men. Oh, Salagia, I missed one. It says, consummate human integrity and virtue of men full grown, adults, full of age, mature. Let's keep on looking. Grown mental and moral character. You see? Completeness. So when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is truly dealing with you and the Spirit is upon you, you're going to become an adult. You're going to have spiritual matureness. Right? And these dudes are lacking that. Let's see what this says in the verse prior. Even before that, Ephesians 4:12, it says, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of a Mashiach. Well, let's even go further than that, because all right, this is Ephesians 4:10. It says, he that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And this is Yahushua. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers. which through the Spirit, we know that the apostles, the bishops, the priests, the teachers, truly all are coming out of GMS and those that teach, you know, the same doctrine, which is not GMS's doctrine, is the doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And how do we know this? Because of the fruits that come out of it, man. You have ISUPK, IUIC, Genesis. What fruits are these dudes bringing in? Nothing but wickedness, man. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, starting off with the apostles, all the bishop elders, and all the sincere brothers in GMS, because we ain't saying that there's no, you know, 2/3 amongst our congregation, because there has to be. There has to be those that came in unawares. Because it's prophesied that there was going to be those type of individuals, man. Even amongst the congregation of truth. But as a whole, our congregation, man, is focused on the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which is one, the spirit of prophecy and truth. Even if our feelings are hurt for a second or two, we put that to the side, man. And we break things down according to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's word says to do it, man. Not sugarcoating shit, not, oh, well, you know, this really means this because, you know, that kind of sounds rush. I mean, that kind of sounds rough in today's day and age. Like, no, fuck it. That's what it is. Marriageable age was that age when a young female hits the flower of her age. Certain judgments, like a rebellious child, were punishable by death. That's what it is, man. We got children. You know, through the Spirit, before we came into this truth, we raised them up, you know, decently. It wasn't the best, but, you know, because we wasn't in the truth, but we, you know, we corrected them. We told them not to be wicked ass individuals. But when we see these new generations, like the YNs and all these wicked ass rebellious children, you understand why the Lord said to stone these little demons, because they're gonna grow up to be monsters, man. But you dudes be like, oh no, you know, your fucking feelings, talking through your feelings, man, like a bunch of children. Like, be a fucking man and understand, like, look, the reasons why this and this is so is because of this, whatever subject it comes down to, man. So like, fucking children, man, it's like a big ass fucking child, but yeah, you're supposed to lead us according to them, because according to Captain Cesariak, according to Bishop Nathaniel and all his junkies, we're supposed to follow these dudes to salvation. Like, you fucking crazy, man. Back in Ephesians 4:12, it says, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of a Mashiach. And all that comes through what? Through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Being fully grown in understanding, not children. And for those of you brothers and sisters that are new, it's okay to, you know, to feel a certain way, but you got to overcome. You know, when you first come into the truth, you're going to face a lot of things that it's going to be emotional, man. You're going to have to emotionally detach from a lot of things that you hold dear, man. This is why the apostles, Apostle Peter asked Yahushua, like, look, we've given up everything to follow after the wives and children and lands, and what will we get in return? He wasn't playing when he said we've given them up. When the Lord told the disciples that later became apostles to let go of the things of the world, he literally meant it, man. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't like, no, man, you have to detach from this world. There's a point where you come to the understanding that your family don't want Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They don't want to hear about what you got to say about the Lord. They don't give a fuck. And you have to understand that the Lord's going to judge them. And there is nothing you could do about it. No matter how much you love them, no matter how much you want them to be saved, you cannot do nothing for these people. And part of growing in this truth is understanding and accepting it. Like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. That's the Lord's will. It is what it is. Salaki. But like I was saying, you know, if that's the Lord's will, it is what it is. And that's it, man. Be worried about your spirit, about your walk. Right? And then if the Lord's dealing with you, he's going to bless you with understanding. And you're going to overcome those feelings, man. And from overcoming those things, you're going to be appreciative of how much mercy the Lord is really having on you, man. So let's keep on reading this. It says, Ephesians 4:13, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the living power, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahushua. That's right. So this is why we gotta, we start with the milk, then we keep on growing, and then we become, we become men. Truly, our perfection is gonna come once Yahushua comes back. That's when we're gonna be all knowing. But as for now, we becoming men in this truth. Through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If you stray off from the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord, you're going to be in your fucking feelings, man. And you're going to judge, you're going to say certain things that are not right. And that's kind of, what I got off of this podcast that I was watching. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but this dude Tasariak, man, you were looking bad, man. You made the Israelites look bad. I mean, the Wadi Habashim al Shah, we don't go on these stupid ass podcasts with unbelievers, but the world is looking at the Israelites like these motherfuckers is a bunch of emotional ass dudes, man. Aren't you supposed to be the big bad Israelite? The militant, tough guys, or you about to cry because these panel, the panel wasn't agreeing with you, man. Fucking through over some shit that you're emotional about. And I'm talking to you from a father's perspective. A father's perspective. I have daughters, my dude. And I understand that in the ancient world, we married them off early because you don't want your daughter to be fucking sneaking out your house and just fucking everybody in the neighborhood, man. This is why you married them off early. And you married them to reputable men of honor, men that followed after Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, not some random dude. You okay with our daughters being 16, 17, sneaking around their fucking fathers and going and fucking a fucking bum. But it's wrong that it's wrong to marry them off to a righteous man. Like, you motherfucking tripping, man. Through. So hey, with that, Akim, I don't want to make it any longer, but hopefully you brothers and sisters was edified. Again, all praises, honor, and glory going to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash.